Beyond Utah's breathtaking landscapes lie whispers of something ancient and unknown, something that stalks its most remote wilderness. Deep within the vast, rugged Uinta Mountains, legends persist of a towering ape-like creature known as Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Hikers and hunters venturing into this isolated wilderness have reported inexplicable howls, strange territorial markers, and fleeting glimpses of a massive bipedal figure that vanishes as quickly as it appears. While often dismissed as folklore, the consistent eyewitness accounts and unexplained phenomena in this remote terrain leave many to wonder what truly lurks in the shadows of Utah's untamed high country.
This story was sent to me by Ryan, a weekend backpacker from Salt Lake. He hasn't gone hiking alone since last fall. I do solo hikes for peace and quiet, just me, my pack, and the trail. I'm not one of those off-grid survival guys. I stay on marked paths, carry a Garmin, and check in with my brother before every trip. I've done most of the Wasatch and a chunk of the Uintas. This happened in late September. I'd taken Friday off to do a 3-night hike along a lesser-used ridge loop near Mount Nebo. Not super remote, but far enough from the more popular trails that I didn't expect much company. Day 1 was perfect. I parked at the trailhead, signed in at the box, and started the climb. By late afternoon, I made camp near a small alpine lake. As the sun set, I climbed up a rocky point for a better view. That's when I saw him. Across the valley on the adjacent ridge, maybe 300 yards away, stood a man, arms by his sides not moving. I waved just out of habit. He didn't wave back. I figured he was another hiker admiring the view. I headed back to my tent and didn't think much of it. Day 2, I hiked east along the loop. Around midday, I stopped at a viewpoint and saw him again. Same distance, same clothes, a dark jacket, jeans, and a cap. Standing on the ridge across from me, arms down, not moving. It gave me a weird feeling, but I shrugged it off. Probably another solo hiker doing the opposite loop. That night, I camped in a more exposed area and made a fire. I kept checking the dark ridges above, never saw him again. Day 3, same deal. He was there, standing on the ridge. Exactly where I expected him to be if he were following my loop. Except, I'd seen no other tracks, no gear, no campsite remains, no sign-in at the trailhead before mine. On the last night, I didn't sleep much. I kept the fire going and stayed inside my tent with the zipper half open, just listening. Nothing. Day 4, I hiked fast, reached the end of the loop by mid-morning. There's a clearing before the descent to the parking lot. I stopped to eat a granola bar, looked back up at the ridgeline. He was still there, watching, arms by his sides. When I got back to the car, I felt stupid for being so rattled. Threw my pack in the back seat, grabbed a water, and signed out of the trail log. I turned to leave and froze. He was standing at the trailhead, 10 feet from me. Up close, I could see his face. Blank, pale, a short beard, dead eyes, no pack, no food, no water, just standing there. I opened my door slowly. "Hey," I said, "you okay?" He didn't answer, just tilted his head. I got in the car, locked the door, and backed out fast. He didn't move, didn't follow, didn't say a word. I filed a report with the ranger office, but they found no one. No car, no sign of him on the trail cameras. But the next weekend, someone scratched something into the trailhead sign. "See you again." This story was sent to me by Luis. He was hired to clean one of the oldest churches in Salt Lake City. He only lasted 6 shifts. I'm not religious, but I needed a job. So when a janitorial company assigned me to clean a historic church downtown, I said yes. Easy work, mop floors, vacuum pews, take out trash. All at night, no crowds, no noise. The place was massive. Real old-school design, stone walls, tall ceilings, thick stained glass, smelled like cedar and candle wax. There was a sanctuary, a rec hall, an office wing, and a basement I was told not to worry about. "Records are down there," my supervisor said. "Off limits, you just stick to the main floors." That was fine with me. First few nights, everything was normal. Bit creepy being alone in such a quiet building, but nothing weird. Then came night 4. I was vacuuming near the stairwell when I heard it. Knock, knock, knock. 3 soft knocks spaced out, coming from the basement. I stopped the vacuum and listened. Silence. I walked over to the top of the stairs. The basement door was shut, padlocked from the outside like always. But when I touched the doorknob, it was warm, like someone had just been holding it. I backed away, went back to work, and tried to forget about it. Next night, same thing, 3 knocks, no voices, no movement, just that knock. Door still locked, handle still warm. I mentioned it to the supervisor. He shrugged. "Pipes down there knock sometimes. Old place? Don't open that door." Night 6 is when I broke the rule. I'd finished cleaning early and still had an hour on the clock. Curiosity got the best of me. I walked down to the basement stairs. This time, the padlock was missing. The latch hung open, but the door was shut tight. I knocked once, nothing. I slowly turned the knob and pushed the door open. Pitch black, no lights on, smelled like wet paper and old dirt. I took a few steps down the stairs with my flashlight. The hall was lined with storage doors, all marked Records A, Records B, and so on. Then I saw it. One door had light coming from underneath. I crept toward it. No sound, no voices, just my breathing. I reached the door and raised my hand to knock before I could. The light flicked off, then came the knock from the inside. I turned and bolted, sprinting up the stairs 2 at a time. I didn't look back. Slammed the basement door shut and pushed the lock bar back in place, even though it didn't have a padlock. I waited by the exit for the last 10 minutes of my shift, just listening. No more knocks. But I swear the doorknob clicked once, like someone testing it. I told my supervisor I wouldn't be back. He didn't ask why, just said, "Most people don't last long there." This one came from a guy named Troy. He and his friends went camping near Moab. He still won't say exactly where. Every summer, our group picks a new campsite somewhere in Utah. No fancy campgrounds, just deep desert spots off the beaten path. Quiet, wide-open skies, no one around for miles. Last year, it was 5 of us, me, Colin, Jess, Tasha, and Marcus. We drove out past Arches, then took a dirt road to a dry creek bed we'd used before. No signal, no trails, just flat red sand and scrub. We pitched tents around a small fire ring someone had built years ago. Spent the first night drinking, stargazing, and listening to music. Typical stuff. The second day, we hiked about 6 miles to a nearby canyon. Took longer than we expected, so we didn't get back to camp until after dark. That's when we noticed it. The fire was already lit. We all stopped about 20 feet away, just staring. Flames were low, but clearly burning, our logs, our fire ring, and next to it, a blackened pot, steaming. "What the hell?" Marcus said. "Did we leave it burning?" Tasha asked. "No," I said. "I doused it. I even stirred the ashes." There were no extra tents, no cars, just the fire, and 5 sets of fresh footprints in the sand. Not ours. Jess crouched to look closer. These are big, like boots. Colin scanned the area with his flashlight. Nothing but shadows. "Maybe some hikers stumbled in," he said. "Saw the ring, made food, weird, but not criminal." We stood there arguing until the stew in the pot started bubbling, like someone had just added heat. Marcus grabbed a stick and nudged it aside. No coals, just stones. And still, it boiled. That was enough. We all agreed to leave, packed the tents fast, skipped folding, just shoved everything into the trunks. We drove 20 minutes up the ridge and parked under a cliff wall, out of sight. No one slept. Next morning, we went back to check. The fire ring was cold, the pot was gone, and etched into the sand where my tent had been, a stick figure, arms up, circle for a head. Just like the little fire symbols we'd scratched in our camp notebooks as a joke. Except none of us did that, and none of us brought a stick with a flat end like that one had.